Hello and welcome to the channel. This video will show how I fixed the broken feet on the watch dial. So I have this pretty clean Seiko dial, but it has no dial feet. And without feet, no watch could be alive. So I thought to try a method of soldering the feet. Let's see if that will work. I'll use this main plate from a Seiko watch as a template at the time when I will need to check the dial placement with new feet. The first step is to find the tiny spots where original dial feet were located. They are barely visible, but usually have a color of the copper. And it's how I found them. Then I drew a line connecting those spots, and this line is needed to find these spots later on. Next step is to make these spots clean by using very fine sandpaper. Here is an assortment of watch feet for dials that I bought on eBay. This small box has dial feet of different thickness, so I need to find out what size will be good for my dial and movement. The dial feet with thickness of 0.64 millimeters is the right one for this movement. I used an aluminum plate to place the dial for soldering because this plate will serve as a heat sink to prevent the dial from a possible damage. Then I prepare the dial by first applying a soldering flux on both dial spots, and then I covered them with a thin layer of solder. I published one video in the past on the same topic, but that video showed a different method of fixing the dial. For those who want to see that video, the link is in the description. After that I begin to solder dial feet one after another. I want to say that this method should be used very carefully, applying the heat by soldering iron for as short time as possible. It might be wise to try this operation on the spare dial to get a feel of the soldering method. If heat is applied for too long, it could damage the delicate dial face. After dial feet are in place, I use a file to make affected area flat and even, so dial will be in the right position when attached to the movement. New dial feet look good and solid. Now it's time to check the dial location on the main plate. It's very important to solder the dial feet to the original spots as close as possible. Otherwise the dial will not take a correct position on the movement. These dial feet are longer than original, so I cut them. This method of the dial feet repair allowed me to finalize the full service and bring back to life the beautiful vintage Seiko watch. Thank you for watching. Likes, comments and subscriptions are very welcome. And I'll see you next time. Bye now.